I don't think I'm physically capable of expressing to you right now how glad I am that I've been doing, especially with RWBY of all shows, that thing where as soon as I finish my reaction, I, start up a second recording, for fear that my computer will crash and delete all of my video. No, I'm not a fan of spoilers, but you want to guess what happens in this one? So, just as a heads up, I'm recording this now, and then I'm going to continue on with my discussion. So there's going to be about 12 to 18 minutes? I might have been 18 minutes or so. If you don't want to watch my discussions, you don't have to watch my discussion, but, 18 minutes worth of video after the actual reaction, a little ways after it, that just isn't going to have my face anywhere. That's why my computer crashed. You blue screening bitch. Enjoy the rest of the actual reaction. I'm really glad I did that. Let's see if it does it again. I'm just so glad I didn't do it in the reaction, because I would have lost it. I would have just punched everyone in the face. I'd have had my teammate create a giant summoning sword, and then I would have smashed it down. And she would be my wife with the pretty angel wing. Did I mention Weiss is literally my favorite thing to ever exist in the history of mankind? I'm late for a very important birth date. Plugging in my brain hole and I can't hear in my own brain. Hey, hi, ho, and howdy. That's the one problem about these. They're very nice, but they're very... And it feels like I'm talking into like a submarine. You ever been in a submarine? I've been in a submarine. This is a small submarine. To be fair, a lot of submarines feel very small on the inside on account of them being little underwater toilet bathtub was the better example than I said. Don't do that in like a commercial submarine. It can't be recommended. Anyway, we're gonna hey, hi, ho, and howdy. Boy, this one went smoother in my head, didn't it? Let's do a funny little reference to a silly little rabbit in a silly little story that our silly little show is exploring in a silly little way. And then we went there. Anyway, we're here for another episode of RWBY. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is RWBY Volume 9, Episode 3. I'm not dying inside knowing we're already a fifth of the way through. You are. Pain and agony of the highest caliber. But we're here to do it. We're gonna do the thing. It's gonna be fun. Or it's gonna be. I don't know how fun it is. Well, I think it's gonna be really fun. To be fair, RWBY has been slightly hyping this one up, especially on the musical front. And assuming, based on the little bits we've gotten in trailers, I suspect there shall be some again, perhaps silly shit. Also probably some emotional fuckery. But the best of both worlds, as they say. In general, I've been having, obviously, I'm me. You can literally just show me a still image of Weiss until the end of my days, and I will be very happy. But, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's been pretty good so far. I've been enjoying it quite muchly so. It has been funny. It has also been sad. It has been exciting, and it has also been bad. But in one of two ways. In like the bad to the bone sort of way, like Yang chucking a rock at a big monster man's head, or in the bad ways, like the sort of way with the aforementioned big monster man. Not quality-wise. It's very different things. I also said it's two different things. That's three different things, actually. Counting is my speciality. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and do this. In the previous episode, obviously, we got our bearings kind of as to acknowledging amongst the group where we are, what we're doing, and why we are doing it. We are in the Ever After. We're on a mission following along in Alex's footsteps, and we are going to hopefully get out of here. Maybe having grown as people, and also hopefully Neo doesn't murder anyone and or gets murdered herself. This is the preferable thing. Also, Jean is here. And boy, did I mention those silhouettes in the intro give me great pause. Not like the pause of a small talking raccoon, but instead the pause of like a jabberwocker. So yeah, we're paws, claws. What do they got? They definitely got claws. But do they just more have hands? Hands. Hi. Look. Fascinate. Anyway, we're gonna... I was really struggling to make that work. But, there's a lot of mushrooms. There's a whole mushroom biome. He's probably getting lit on the weekends. Just let him live his life, god damn you. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and check this out. It is, what was it called? Red, Rude, and Royal, I think is the name of the episode. Also, it's like 20 minutes long, so, your boy's not complaining about that shit. That's gonna be the fun part, because they were like, oh, the episodes are all around average length. It'll be funny, we get the finale and it's 60 fucking minutes long. And then we're like, oh, shit. You sneaky bastards. You've lost fabled us again, but squared. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and do this. It wouldn't be squared, that would be doubled. Counting is my specialty. But no, I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think the only other thing I want to talk about before we get started is, as always, a huge thank you to everyone who's been so goddamn supportive since starting the volume. I've mentioned it a billion times over, but RWBY is my favorite show. I have been with this since the dawn of time. Literally the earliest adopter of RWBY that I know. Period. And it feels nice to be here and to be with you all. Yeah. I kind of had a little bit of a thing earlier today when I was kind of just... I was thinking about things, and it just... with how much this show matters to me, it's always kind of hurt me and felt a little sad sometimes how, RWBY has always... It's always been one of the better, doing things on the on the channel and whatnot, but obviously I am not a crazy massive creator in the space despite being around as long as I have and stuff, but so it feels really good when things feel like they're going well and things like they're building up, and I'm about to cry. You sad bitch. Anyway, it genuinely it genuinely fills me with an incredible sense of appreciation and love and warmth when something that matters so very much to me is getting love and giving support, not just the show itself, but on the channel. And we got so much of it. I keep having to mention it, but we got 50 fucking people joined, at the start of the new volume. And I know for a lot of people that number might not seem crazy, but for me it is. And I don't know, it meant the world to me. So to everyone who's watching, thank you so much. Yeah, it means the world to me. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and end that little train of thought there before I go any further, because that genuinely was about to make me fucking cry. I am such a bitch. Anyway, think happy thoughts. Weiss, marriage, yes, me. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. We have a birthday party to celebrate and or absolutely obliterate. Obviously, again, seen some stuff in the trailer. It looks a bit interesting, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. And again, the gang's been saying very good things on the musical front, so I'm very, very excited for that. It's lit when Casey's also it's kind of fucking lit. I know I made it, but but it's kind of good. But it's kind of good though, Me and Martine are the shit. We're awesome. And I just want you to know that. So yeah, I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. I really loved the previous episode. Genuinely, it was a phenomenal episode that I did not expect to be anywhere near as phenomenal as it was. And I thought it was going to be pretty fucking good. Yeah. You know it's good when it's a basically 15-minute long episode. And my video is 2 hours. So, you know, I got some thoughts. Oh, that or if it's insanely short a video. And it's like, and I say nothing because that means my brain has melted. And I've just been reduced to a puddle. Which one will this one be? Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and check it out. It is episode 3, once again. Red, Rude, and Royal. I'm excited. Again, I'm not sure if we're gonna end up seeing Mia or Jean this episode, or if we'll see the Curious Cat. I'm gonna be curious to see. Again, it is a longer episode, which I'm certainly not going to complain about. But I am looking forward to it. I am excited. Once again, still not the thing. It's literally highlighted because you have it selected currently, you dipshit, and just press the This is why no one watches your videos. You absolute buffoon. You baboon. You balloon. Not anymore. I'm very happy with the progress I've made in my life. Thank you very much. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this. Things are gonna go well. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Red, Rude, and Royal, episode 3 of RWBY Volume 9. In which hand are you gonna press the fucking mouse with, idiot? Just do it with my mind. Anyway, in 3, 2, 1, go. Dun, 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 dun. It is time to go. That's the name of this. Well, the name of the song is Inside. It's not. That would be a very strange choice of a title. On account of it's not a word, because it's not a vocalization of sounds. Don't sing it. You know you cannot. You have no talent. America's got some, and you have none. They took all of it. You don't got none anymore. And again, I mentioned, though I might have, I think I added it in towards the very end, the last one afterwards, but again, I'm very curious to see if we're even going to see Alex in earnest at all in this volume, or if it is exclusively going to be us following in her footsteps. Which I'm getting more the impression that is what's going to happen. Unless we see her in like a full-on flashback, which I think could also totally happen. Or there's the option of neo-fuckery, which is all the face of a true fucker, if any, of the most fuckery individual I've ever seen. About to commit fuckery. That's good. It's lit. I've been using that term a lot more. I'm a late adopter to hip new terms, obviously. But when I do, I incorporate them fairly soon.
Are we sure we should do this? Well, the Red King helped Alex. We aren't Alex.
Oh shit, it's that freaky looking butterfly. I'm here for it. Y'all got trumpet? Actually, that is what that is. Hello, you little freak. What's up with you? You little tinker toy boy. Hi, how you doing? What's your name?
You're the Red King?
How dare you? There is no king. I am the Red Prince. Why I never. Coming to someone's castle without even knowing who they are. And on my birthday!
Happy birthday, Your Majesty!
Happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday, Your Majesty!
Also, I realize his name is the Red King, or the Red Prince. Apparently, he's very picky.
Thank you very much.
Does he have...
Red Prince? The king wasn't nearly as rude. Or small. Or loud.
Okay, yeah, this is the second...
The king would still be here.
Shut your ass, boy. It's the second reference to the fact that this seems to be taking way place later, despite the fact history is repeating itself.
How do you know such privileged information? You must be infiltrators, here to steal my crown!
Whose voice is that?
You literally just told us. Also, we saw advertisements for your party.
Way to go, bud.
Everywhere.
You are in the presence of royalty!
You are in the presence of royalty. This is the queenest queen who's ever queen.
Ew. Did I used to be this unbearably pompous?
Your Majesty, we have brought you a magnificent
It's okay, you
gift
grew.
befitting of the royal birthday.
It is very rare. The weapon of the greatest warrior to ever live.
Acquired by us and only us with no help at all.
But we're the ones who gave it to you.
No help at all.
You gotta stop beating the shit out of my girl like that.
Green?
Yeah,
Why is
you little
it
shit.
green?
Because it was a nice color and it looks good on her. Shut up.
How could you?
Forgive us, Your Majesty. We didn't know it was green.
Be careful, she's kind of in a bad emotional state. She might just fucking kill you before this is over. She...
Majesty, please! Wait! They gave it to us! It was their fault! It wasn't me.
Speaking of dying... I was joking. They were not.
Cheer you up.
I should have seen that coming with the whole off of their heads of it all, but you know.
Petting people does cheer me up, but go on.
We heard you like to play games.
She's on her sinister little shit grind. Oh, so y'all, you managed to do the. Oh, there's the bell thingy with the. Yeah. You did really good with Ambrosius right up until that one part. So, you know, loopholes, strategies, overcome.
So, what exactly do you desire from me in exchange for playing my game? There's always a catch.
Weiss's
Your
hand in
Majesty,
marriage.
You are
Is that
as wise as you are.
red?
Oh.
I would have gone with red.
Thank you.
Oh.
If we win, our only
Little
request
knows what's
is
up.
that you help us get to
I believe in them fully.
The tree? It's so far away.
That's why we're asking.
If you win, I will help you with what you ask.
Great. So, how do we play?
Rule one. Each player may move every pawn one space each turn. Rule two. Whoever gets the most pawns to the other side of the board wins. Rule 3. To take over a space, you must dispose of whoever occupies it.
Dispose of?
Which has some slight concerning. Yeah, they don't
Okay.
seem like they're doing great.
I think I'm missing some pieces.
It's, Why'd it have to be
How
3?
perfect that you brought along friends to play then.
Hey, what are you doing? Weiss, Yang?
She punched herself in the face.
We're all littles.
We're okay. Ruby, the most important thing is winning this game.
What's wrong with them? I don't know. They look stupid.
Hey now. Hey, look at her. Look at her, you little shit.
No one's going to get hurt. Right?
I mean, in theory, y'all are bad bitches,
As
and
I am a
they're little
gracious ruler,
weird little idiots.
the
You got
white
this.
team may go first. Begin!
This little freak makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, hey,
Can you
Can Little
advance
just-
one space forward,
just
please?
beat the shit out of him. Little's a friend.
A victory for me!
Well, damn. All right.
Okay.
Way to go,
How
champ.
about you three?
Really being a team player. You fucking are the kind of person to spam thanks in Pokemon Unite, aren't you? You little
Weiss,
bastard.
you think you can take that space?
Fuck him up.
Have some faith.
She got Mirror Master. Fuck off.
Beginner's luck. It doesn't bother me.
Are you?
So, tell me, why do you want to go to the tree?
Want to go on?
We're just real big fans of Arbor Day.
I believe the tree can get us there. Yang, you're up. All over it.
Fuck him up. Good job. You did that thing that I said. Fuck yeah. Bad bitch. That's what she is.
And
That's
how do you know
Yang, bad bitch Zhao
Well,
Long.
it worked for someone we know. Blake, your
Pretty sure
turn.
that's the middle name. Ty had good taste. Oh shit. Actually, highly debatable. Raven.
Maybe we can win. Surely not, though, right?
You adorable motherfuckers.
Someone you know, hmm?
Hey, what about us? What do you want us to do?
Huh?
Enough! It's my turn! Attack! Full steam ahead!
This feels like it's slightly against the rules. I thought we moved one at a time.
No! This is not how it's supposed to go! This isn't right! This isn't fair!
I don't think that's accurate at all, sir.
You... Wait, what type of creatures did you say you are again?
Well, Blake is a faunus. Little's a mouse. At least I think.
Sure.
And the rest of us are human?
You wanna talk, bud? You wanna come and join the gang, do a little chit?
Human! I knew it! You must have cheated! All of you! Get them! Get them!
Yeah, if Alex was here, that would definitely leave an impression. Oh, it's just fucking yes! Holy fuck, marry me. I know I say that all the time, but Jesus Christ, I love her so fucking much. Oh, it's a lyrical song. All right, you dick.
You're going to hurt them!
It's my royal birthday, and I can do whatever I like.
Cave his dumb broken fucking head in. How is semblances looking in the Ever After, Yang? God, I wish my internet wasn't shit.
I've won. Give up already.
We won't.
Fuck him up.
There's what it wants!
Damn right. And let Ruby say fuck, damn it. I'm gonna cry. I love her so much. She's so fucking awesome. That was fucking awesome. I need to rewatch that 500 times. I don't even like fights in this show. I don't care. I don't even like fighting and shit. It's so good.
You beheaded.
You can throw a tantrum if you want, but we won! Take us to the tree!
Cards.
Tell that asshole.
Your Majesty.
The boy.
He's so distraught. Unable to do the one thing
The Robbie of it all.
to do. I understand. Surely you don't want to behead them. They are but fragile things without a head. If you get angry and break them, they might not ever come back.
It's my birthday, and they wouldn't let me.
I know, Your Majesty. It truly isn't fair. You must play your game and win at any cost. It must hurt your heart. Let me help.
Fine. I won't behead them.
This motherfucker crying marbles.
What about my friends? They're still tiny! And he promised he would...
Promises are like birds. They taste great, but always escape. You should go before he changes his mind.
Yeah, I would
Come
dip.
quickly.
Don't get me wrong. I don't trust this little fucker far as I can throw them, but God damn. Yeah, no, this is why it took 2 years, guys. Some shit happened. They did some stuff.
I don't know how that went so wrong. But thank you for saving us.
Good thing I dropped by the prince's party when I did. I usually hate parties. How did you end up?
You
at
look
this
like you're
game
fun at them.
anyway?
We wanted to speak to the Red King, but he wasn't there. And now we're back where we started.
The king? How do you know him?
Fucker
Well,
breathing,
times
purring
change,
in my
you know,
goddamn
and so
earballs.
even it's our time to change. Don't you?
Did you hear that? There was a Red King. Right. But something's changed since then.
Great! So we're not in the stupid story after all.
I mean,
We're in a
time.
stupid sequel.
Yeah, there you go.
First, what are you? What did you need to talk to the king about? And what is your favorite dessert?
What, again? We're human.
Brownies.
I must say, you're not nearly as interesting as the others I've met. What about Hold that thought.
What's the deal with this cat?
A yellow one.
Anyone here be normal?
That's not just any cat.
Will there be a
When Alex was
white
lost,
and a black
she
one
met
as well?
The curious cat, who loved to ask questions.
And the curious cat helped Alex find the tree. Wait, so the cat is our ticket out of here? Rubes, don't let
I already love him, by the way.
Play cat.
They're fucking awesome. Also, I keep saying him. It's probably more they rather than he, but I fucking love them. They're. Uh-oh. What and or who? Oh, fuck, girl. I need you to roll. Baby, can we just... Okay, yeah, bud, just to let you know, she's the most overpowered fucking thing in the goddamn world. So, you should be careful. God damn it. Why does that feel like the shortest one? It was 20 minutes. Damn you. Oh, and the most frustrating part is I didn't get to see that. I'll have to look that up after. But I want to see who was voicing the Red Prince. But remember I said like at the beginning of this, I wonder which one it is. Is it going to be is it one where I have almost nothing to say, or one where I have 2 hours worth? God, that was so fucking cool. Which one is it going to be? I'm worried it's going to be the one where I don't talk very much, because it was a lot of like fighting and shit was happening. And I feel like I'm going to have to rewatch it a good few times before I pick up like legitimate, more symbolic shit rather than just it being really fucking creative and awesome. Again, I am not like a fight guy. I've talked about it 100 times over. Even in RWBY, like the fights is not why I watch RWBY and stuff like that. I watch it for the characters. Obviously, I've mentioned this 1,000 times over. Let me see if I can, as I wanted to take a look. Yeah, what do we got here? Yeah, obviously RWBY. I'm so fucking happy to have RWBY. Dope as fuck. Michael Malconian. Number 1. That's the most lit fucking last name I've ever seen. Michael, my boy? Shit. Fucking Malconian is a fucking bomb-ass name. Anyway. But, okay, a lot of seemingly recurring background voices I've noticed seem to show up in the previous one, too. And then, yeah, Richard is still, it would be weird if they suddenly made the Jabberwocker someone else. Also, as other people have pointed out, because I didn't mention it the first time around, God, voice acting is awesome. I love that the dude who does the voice for the fucking Jabberwocker is the same dude who does the voice for the squawky-ass birds. for the fat birds, as they were referred to in the script. This was really fun. Like, a bit stressful, but it was really fucking fun. God, it's so fucking cool and creative and awesome. Again, like, I mentioned again, to bring it back to the thing I keep saying and then not finishing. I do not watch RWBY for its fights. The fights are something that comes along for the ride, and it just, it's fun. That being said, there are certain fights in particular that I think really stand out for me. Easily some of the biggest ones being something like Team RWBY versus the Aesops. It is fucking phenomenal. And it's phenomenal because it is telling a story. It is illustrating a point. Actually, before we get started, I'm going to do that thing where I restart real quick, just so that if I do have anything to say, I don't risk losing the actual reaction part. Okay? Cool? Tools, limit. Not tools, limits, because I'm not going anywhere. Shut up. You know, if it's Toodles, Doodles, and Lemons, why do I not do Hey, Hi, Ho, and Limes? Asking the real questions. Where was that question? Curious cat. Yeah, so, fucking, fights. The reason something like Team RWBY vs. the Aesops works so well for me is because the entire point of that fight isn't just obviously them standing their ground, but it is genuinely showing how much those characters have grown and changed. Like, you know, those opening words at the start of the fight. Do you really think you can beat us? We're the best in Atlas, or the best huntsman in Atlas. And then Ruby's, you were, and then you trained us. They don't say that for no fucking reason. I mean, they also say it to piss her off, which works. Because it takes very little to piss her off. Honestly, wish it took a little more. Less people would be dead. It's nice knowing you, Vine. You were kind of a real one. Anyway, point is, like, the reason that fight is so goddamn interesting is because it's not just a fight for the sake of fight. And RWBY in general is really good, especially later on, for not doing fights for the sake of fights. It's one of the reasons fight anime with big bunches of fighting in it doesn't vibe with me anyways, because so much of the time it feels like, oh, people are doing a big punch because people like watching punching, not because it actually means something. And RWBY, thankfully, is one of those shows that has, especially later on in the show, it's one of the reasons why I don't have necessarily the same level of pure fucking instantaneous attachment to the original fights from the Monty era of the show, though I do obviously enjoy them. The reason those don't hit me the same way is because some of those do just kind of feel like fight for the sake of fight. I love the extracurricular fight. I love the fight where Pyrrha beats the ever-loving shit out of Team Cardinal. It's very fun. She's having a goddamn blast. Me too, girl. Same. Tell them how it is. By breaking their fucking necks. It's a very fun fight, but it's literally just a fight so that they can fight. It's literally just, hey, Pyrrha's cool. Show her being cool. And it has its purposes. It has the purpose of showing how goddamn invincible she is. It, you know, building up this mythology of this character so that when she dies, you know why that's so significant. And why it hurts. Because RWBY's mean. You mean motherfuckers. Miles, Carrie, Monty, you are not immune to my rage. Anyway, you son of a bitch. I love you, but you are responsible for this as well. I know you planned this shit. So anyway, yeah, just it. And Kiersey, Eddie, you two aren't off the fucking chain yet. Off the chain, yeah, off the hook either, because. Just because y'all got in later to the party doesn't mean y'all didn't hurt me dearly. Point is, a lot of the times those fights can feel like that, and it's because of stuff like that just it doesn't necessarily radio with me. Again, you do have examples where it does kind of overcome that. And again, there is a point to everything. Like I was almost going to use the example of the Nevermore Deathstalker fight. But even then, that obviously that is the solidification of Team RWBY. That's how it, how it's built. That's how it starts. Even outside of the show, you have fights like that, have a very simple purpose, but are still incredibly impactful and enjoyable. Fucking Ruby Ice Queendom. The final battle, the final, unrivaled ass whooping, that Team RWBY gives to the Nightmare is, like, it has its very important purpose of, like, it is showing Team RWBY uniting. It is, them truly back in their element. It is kind of part two to, funnily enough, the fight that has a song with a part 2 in it. Like the Nevermore Deathstalker fight. If that is the start of their true solidification of that team, the beating the ever-loving fuck out of a big plant goo monster, is, is that, being solidified, that being fucking iterated. There we go. That's probably what I was looking for, unless it wasn't. The point is, there's a lot of different fights over there that I think are fun, but don't. It doesn't affect me in the same way that the writing and characters do, because it's the kind of person I am. Also, the writing characters is lit in this show. I'm using it again. I'm hipping with it with the kids. That's right, boys and girls. I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, we're gonna. Anyway, but yeah, no, this fight, again, is another one that doesn't feel like it has an abundance of, critical symbolism. There's definitely some in there. I mean, Ruby's literally a giant person, operating the team while the other three members are working together doing shit like that, so there's some shit there. But more than anything else, it was just so fucking fun. Like, it was so fucking fun. I have never been more attracted to Weiss than I have in this moment, except for those, 3 times that I can think of that I was. But aside from that, aside from, Alone Together and fucking, oh god, what's another really good one that I'd pick from? Oh my god, it's, again, attracted is a weird word, because the scene, both Alone Together is a really sad scene, but the other one I was gonna fucking immediately reference was fucking her weeping as she's fucking shooting Gamble Shroud and dual wielding and shit. But it's because she's so wonderful and amazing, and in that moment you see her and everything she stands for, and it's just fucking amazing. Here, I'm through the floor. She got to do the wings again, and it was fucking awesome. My actual snow angel. Holy fuck. Anyway. Down horrendous. Anyway, I'm gonna try and take myself away from that thought process. Thank you, Kirby, for giving me the great. She's been so fucking great this volume. She's so much fun. She is emotionally compelling as fuck. Whether it's, again, her kind of inner turmoil in the first episode, and obviously breaking down, relaying the information, her being an adorable cheerleader for the team when they really fucking need it, and she's trying to, kind of beat down her emotions and, support her squad. Whether it's her obviously taking important note of buzz. Whether it's her being a fucking little just sass fountain of fuck this is so stupid, it's crazy, it's nonsense, why is this a thing? Yes, we've dealt with crazy, weird nonsense before, but this feels like just an extra level. And a lot of it has to do with where we left off Weiss, before. The reason she's so fucking angry is because she just spent the past few months of her life in Atlas again, and just watched it burn to the fucking ground. She didn't see it fall, but she knows it fell. They specifically did the thing that made it fall. It was falling when they were going down. So regardless of whatever she knows happened with Winter and Jean and the rest of the gang in Vacuo, or the relics and all of that, the only thing she knows for goddamn well certain is her fucking home is gone. She doesn't even know her dad is dead. Don't get me wrong, fuck Jacques. Everyone hates Jacques. All of my homies hate Jacques. But even people who hate Jacques, still who watch that fucking scene of him just getting annihilated by fucking James, go, well, that was a little much, don't you fucking think, dude? I hated him too. But he was done. You could have literally left him and he still would have died. But it was just the insult of it. It's even hating Jacques, that's a fucked up thing. Weiss, and again, it's been a huge conversation over time, but this idea that Weiss, Willow, Winter, and Weiss, Willow, Winter, and Whitley will never get the chance at true justice for Jacques. Or against Jacques, I should say, not for Jacques. I mean, you're never really going to get it for Jacques either, unless you count James getting fucking flattened. Oh my god. Oh my god. Taskaru. Anyway. I watch too many VTubers. Anyway, I apologize. This is gross. Just turn into a seal. Fucking, like, they will never be able to get the genuine justice of being able to put that man behind bars and let him fucking serve out an actual sentence for the awful shit he's done. Like, that just doesn't get to happen because James decided, this guy's annoying, fuck you. Like, that's really fucked up. And she doesn't even know that. Honestly, no one knows that. Like, not even Winter gets to know that. They're just like, I guess Jacques isn't here. I guess he got crushed by a fucking city. Like, it's just, he didn't even get the chance to do that. I don't know, it's just, she is stressed. She has some shit going on in her head, and understandably so. Her entire life, outside of Team RWBY is gone, as far as she knows. And especially being trapped away from her, she literally can't even go and see the family she just spent all of that time and effort and loss trying to protect. She doesn't know if Winter's alive. She doesn't know if Willow's alive. She doesn't know if Whitley's alive. She doesn't know if fucking, oh my god, Klein. She doesn't know if Klein's alive. Fake fan. Yeah, she's fucking upset. And, like, it's a funny bunch of stuff. She's very comedy heavy in that previous episode. Yeah, The Rock is hilarious, which before I started this, I was like, I'm gonna eat lunch first, while I'm giving things time, just also to make sure my computer was gonna keep going and not do some bullshit on me, testing things out and stuff. But I decided to watch Arnold's reaction since it came out today, so I decided to stop and do that. The Rock, still fucking hilarious. Not Dwayne. I mean, I'm sure he's funny too. He seems like a fine enough guy. But like, but it's fucking hilarious. And again, there was a lot of back and forth on the idea of comedy in RWBY and its usage and where it is chosen to be put, and like juxtaposition between like comedy and genuinely serious moments. And I want to make it abundantly clear that, like, don't get me wrong, RWBY is not perfect on this front. I can think of 2 moments in particular where the comedy in RWBY is genuinely bad. Like, I actively do not like that it exists where it exists. One, because it just feels awful, period. And it's, what it is. Like, that was uncomfortable and weird and not good before the thing happened. Fuck you, by the way, Ryan. I don't know if I've ever said that, but just want to reiterate. But like, yeah, no, that was not good before that moment in history. That didn't make it better though. But yeah, no, that's not good. And it kind of, obviously through different reasons, though kind of similarly icky. Like, listen, I watch a lot of questionable shows. I'm a big fan of some oh my and such, but of all of the times you could have made a joke about an upskirt shot, in the middle of the Nuclevi fight would not have been my choice. That's the worst joke. Of all the things you could have done, when you could have done them, like, you could even have made that joke at a different point, like somewhere in volume 1 or 2, maybe. In the right situation. That was not it. And any point after wasn't good either. I don't know, fucking, but yeah, stuff like that. But even then, I think it's fairly limited. The reason I mention it is because I am genuinely and generally a big fan of the comedy in RWBY. It is profoundly charming for me. But the reason why I think it is so valuable and important here in this volume in particular is because this volume, we just came off of what was the biggest downer in the series. And that's saying something, because fucking Volume 3 exists. And somehow Volume 8 was worse. And not worse in, like, quality-wise, but, like, worse. Like, I got into a big argument in my comment section with one of my viewers over how fucking emotionally fucked Volume 8 is. And I adore Volume 8. It's wonderful. It's one of my favorites. It's fucking fantastic and well done. However, I fully understand if it's too much for someone. It is a fucking bummer. More people die in Volume 8, like named characters die in Volume 8, than the entire show up until that point. It's fucking crazy. It is fucking brutal. They killed the person we already killed once. And it was 1,000 times worse. But, like, better, but worse, you know what I mean? Like, it was a fucking downer. And we need a certain level of being able to reset from that. Because RWBY, as a show, isn't just a downer. It's not, don't get me wrong, it's a fucking bummer sometimes. And there's a huge fundamental underpinning core of the series, which is life is not an actual fairy tale. It is harsh. It is unfair. It is brutal. It is not right. It is constantly referenced and made note of throughout the show that we are not living in a fairy tale. Both us, I mean, we don't reference it all the time, but like, I mean, that's literally accurate for us, as far as we know. Am I in a book? Are you reading me right now? But fucking, like, literally for us, but obviously for the characters, it is constantly referenced as the case. That's one of the reasons it's so interesting that they chose to use fairy tales for the inspiration for all the characters. Why the show is so built into the concept of the fairy tales are so built into the concept and fabric of the show is because it is that juxtaposition. It is the idea of what is a fairy tale. What does that feel like when you're fucking in one? You like ghost stories, girl. You're in one. It's that, but for fairy tales. Because I'm sure a valiant knight feels really great when you're not that knight fighting a fucking dragon. I bet you he's a little upset by that, actually. Hey, so remember at the beginning of the video when I said the thing with this stuff? Anyway, so I'm going to continue on my conversation. I'm sorry again that happened. Yeah, so my computer crashed. I'm so happy that I did that I did the thing. I was so like, just let it go, who cares? That's why it took me so long before I decided to do that during the discussion. I don't remember what I was talking about. Fairy tales. The show is a comedy in RWBY. Yeah, so anyway, the reason why I think comedy in RWBY works so well, and especially in this volume, is because the constant reminder that RWBY is not a fairy tale. The problem is with that is it kind of is a fairy tale. Not only is it kind of a fairy tale on its own, period, end of story, but Volume 9 in particular, I'm so glad I did that. Anyway, Volume 9 in particular is literally a fairy tale. It is literally set in the confines of a fucking fairy tale. The world we're in is a literal fairy tale in the universe of the show. And that's, again, really important because of this constant theming and idea of fairy tales, what they mean, how they're used, you know, what happily ever after means, what all of these things mean for our characters. Who is a hero? What is a hero? What is RWBY? Why is RWBY the way they are? And so on and so forth and so. And not only is that comedy, number one, it's charming as fuck. I guarantee you people would not have fallen in love with the characters the way they did if they didn't have the comedy. Like, don't get me wrong. There are people who watch RWBY just because they like to watch cartoon ladies punch each other and shit. Like, I don't get me wrong, and that's fine if that's your thing, but that's not why I watch it. That's not why I know a lot of people watch it. We watch it because of the characters. We watch it because we love them, because they're fun, because they're cute, because they're adorable, because they're having a good time, because they're emotionally gripping and compelling. And if you don't have fun with those characters, you don't connect with them the same way. Like, you don't. I hate doing this because I know, because number one, I like to always be positive, but also because I know a lot of people like this, and you guys know how I feel about people talking shit about things that other people like. I'm not particularly a big fan of it. However, for the sake of argument, let me just kind of give an idea here. One of the most beloved genres of video games are Souls-likes. Very specifically, obviously, From Software games. Elden Ring just won fucking Game of the Year not the other day. You know what I mean. This past year. People adore them. Bloodborne is the reason to get a PlayStation. You know, it's, you know, Dark Souls is this incredibly beloved series. All of this. People love those fucking games. I do not. Almost at all. In fact, I would go so far as to say I actively dislike most of them. I've played a bit of Elden Ring. It's kind of okay. They're great games, like from like a creative, like from creative standpoint, and you know, and technical standpoint. Like they do great. They do great work. But it's not made for me at all, even remotely. There's so much about it that just makes me go, this is fucking boring. This is so unfun. That I actively dislike this. This is a profoundly unfun situation. It's just running from room to room or from area to area, slapping a big monster that I don't know anything about, do not care about, and then going to another room to do that same thing and watching a bunch of bodies happen all along the floor. Like, just, it's everything's death and sad. Everyone's a fucking gooey freak. Like, no one's happy ever. And, like, you get, like, one or two characters in a game where they're like, oh, a human. And not like a, but like, not necessarily even a human, but just like a person. Like a person with feelings and thoughts. And that person probably dies. Maybe off screen. Like, it's just unfun. Like, there's no joy in it. It's this lifeless, fucking boring thing. And don't be wrong, again, some of them are very pretty. Elden Ring is a very pretty game. But just because the tree looks pretty doesn't mean I give a shit about it, you know? And again, Elden Ring's an interesting example because it's one of the ones I've liked the most. It's just, that's not saying very much. And again, the reason why is because there's nothing for me to really connect to. There's very little character in it. Like, you'll get a little bit here and there. Like, there's, is it Melina or whatever the fuck? The lady who's like, "I tarnished, I'm here to give you head pats. Like, do a thing, go get the ring thing. Or like Ronnie or the Pitbull of the Woods. You know, you get those little moments here and there, but that's kind of it. And like, I don't give a shit about any of the bosses because you don't fucking like talk to them, or if you do, you talk to them for 10 seconds and then you fight them over and over and over again until you eventually beat them and feel completely and utterly unsatisfied because you just sat there and did the same stupid bullshit over and over again until something eventually worked, or you just grinded enough to do it. Like, it's just, again, those games are not made for me for any number of reasons. But the reason I mention that is because that is why it is so impossible for me to give a shit about those games. Despite the fact that other people love them, I just can't stand them. And that's why. Because they feel incredibly lifeless. I don't care about anyone. I don't want to be anyone's friend. I don't want to fight for anyone. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go fight a boss because I don't know who the fucking boss is. I don't give a shit about this random weird goo man. You know? And again, there's little examples of it where you do get, again, peaks of it again, like Ronnie and stuff. Like, where I'm like, oh, okay. I don't despise this person. I kind of want to do things for them and with them and stuff. Kind of. A little bit. more than almost anything else in the game. But like, you know, it's shit like that. And one of the reasons RWBY works so goddamn well and why we care that these characters are hurting and that they're sad is because we spent that first 2.5 volumes just loving them, because they're goofy and fun and they're people you would be friends with, they're people you would fall in love with, there's so many reasons why I love Weiss as much as I do, but one of the reasons why is because she's a fucking dork. She's a dingus. She's a dumb shit, and I love her for it. There's a reason she was classified as the useless lesbian, despite not being seemingly gay at all. Like, she's a dipshit, and I love her for it. She's incredibly, like, emotionally resonant and, like, the heart of the fucking group, but she's a dweeb. And I love her for it. It's one of the reasons why she goes from being my least favorite character in the entire show, and one of my least favorite characters ever when I originally watched Volume 1, to going to Volume 2 and going like, I really like this character. And then Volume 3, I'm like, I really fucking like this character. And then Volume 4 is like, oh, you're literally the best thing ever. And it's because after that point, which is, again, I talked about it with, like, IQ as well, is like, the reason Ice Queendom is so fucking strong for me is because it actually bridges the gap between Volume 1 and 2, where she goes from pretty fucking unlikable with, like, 1 or 2 good redeeming moments to getting hit in the face with a fucking pie and jumping up in the chair and, Blake Belladonna, what is wrong? She's just a little dipshit, and I love her for it. And I wouldn't have fallen in love with her the same way that I had if she wasn't kind of a little weirdo. Again, like, Ice Queendom again, when things wrap up at the end of Ice Queendom, fucking, and Weiss comes back to us, she's back in herself. What is the first thing she does? She starts being a little weird, self-conscious freak. She's like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened. This is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened. We tell no one, and they're like, everyone knows. Everyone's been watching you go through this shit. Don't worry about it. We won't tell Jean. Is Team Juniper staring at them the whole time? Just like, she gonna die? What happened? She's like, oh my god, I can't believe I look like such a doofus. And I'm like, well, you are one. And that's cool, that's awesome, that's great, because it's one of the reasons you can attach yourself to her so much. Yes, obviously there's the compelling, like, again, being very much the heart and soul of the team. There's the being a really cool fighter who tends to get her ass kicked constantly in 1v1s, but, you know, every once in a while she'll get one. It's very rare, but every once in a while she'll pull one off. But, like, things like that, and, you know, having an incredibly relatable, emotional, connected fucking storyline with, like, her fucked up family and shit. Or, like, the battles with Legacy. And, like, all of that is important, but if you don't care about that if you don't like the person. Like, if you don't like that character, why the fuck do you care? Like, it's this it constantly comes up with characters, not, like, all over, like, why, say all of that same shit happens with Cardin. Why do I care? I don't, because Cardin's a piece of shit. Because he's a fucking asshole. He's not fun. No one likes him. And the one person who might is just literally racist. Just saw some shit on Twitter the other, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Get therapy. Anyway, just genuinely, fuck you. Anyway, but, like, it's the reason why Cardin becomes this, like, is this profoundly unlikable person that no one cares about, that no one genuinely gives a shit about, no one asks about, because why would you? Because fuck him. Because he's not fun, he's not interesting, you don't care about him, he's not friendly, you don't want anything to do with this asshole. Fucking, why do we enjoy Neo? Because she's fucking fun. Why do people latch onto this character so goddamn much? Is because she has this incredibly compelling, deep story with all these connective through lines? I mean, no. I mean, she does, but you don't know that until you read the book, or we get farther in the story and it comes up more and more, and she starts developing more connective tissue. But, like, back in the day, bitch literally came out of nowhere a week after, or, like, before she was supposed to, and we fell in love with her because she's a charm factory. Yeah, so we care about her, and it's because of the fun things. We like and relate to Jean because he's a dipshit. It's a lot better these days, but he starts off as an absolute moron who makes dumbass mistakes that everyone here goes like, fuck. He me for real, you know? It's that. You relate to those moments. You go like, oh, he's a charming little dingus. And we love him for it. That's our boy. It's my son. It's okay, buddy. You fucking idiot. We care about that shit because of those moments. I don't know, it's just, for me, I've never understood why people take issue with the comedy in RWBY. It just radiates a certain air of, like, I'm too cool for this. Fine, you're too cool for it. But, like, again, it's something I talk about constantly. Again, not to get into spoilers for other shows, but at least not too much. Steins Gate. Steins Gate is a show that a lot of the time you will hear people say, like, oh, just wait till blah, 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 blah happens, or what episode. If they fucking tell you, they're an asshole. You shouldn't tell people that that's gonna happen, because holy fuck when it happens. But, like, wait till you get to episode blah, 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 that's when the show really starts. And, like, I've been fucking accused of this by myself with RWBY. Like, hey, when you get to volume 3, you've officially started RWBY. But the thing is like, that moment in Steins Gate, oh no, I've just wound you, that moment doesn't mean anything if you don't have chicken tenders before it, you know? That moment doesn't mean anything if you're not constantly in love with those characters. If you do not want to spend every waking moment sitting in the fucking, you know, Future Gadget Lab kicking it with the whole gang, you know? That doesn't mean anything if you don't care. So when that happens, you fucking lose your mind because you're like, there's no fucking way you just did that. What the fuck, show? You dick, and or video game, because it was a game beforehand. But you know what I mean? Like, just what the fuck? Are you serious? That just happened? And you feel that way. You feel like, fuck the show, I don't watch it. And then you watch the rest of the show and fall in love with it even more. But that moment doesn't happen if you don't connect and relate and fall in love with those characters. If you don't fall in love with that character in particular. And Okabe as well, for obvious reasons in relation to that character. But, like, shit like that. Madoka Magica, another thing. An even more interesting example because it's so fucking quick. But it's because you get those first 2 episodes of Madoka Magica where you're just vibing and everything's cool and crazy and weird. And you're falling in love with Sayaka and fucking Mami and Madoka. And they're all just hanging out together. Magical girls, fuck yeah. And then that happens and you go, oh, fuck. Oh, this was a mistake. I hate it. I knew that was going to happen. I mentioned going into that show when I was reacting to it that I knew that moment was going to happen. But I didn't know how it was going to happen. I didn't know when it was going to happen. And I didn't think I was going to care. But the problem is there's 2.5 episodes before that fucking moment happens where you get to meet that character and fall in love with them. And they're fun and they're sweet and they're adorable and you want the best for them. And they have their big moment of, like, finally resolving themselves and, like, finding that they've gotten what they want. And then things happen. And then Shannon watches it and goes like, oh man, I knew it was going to happen, but damn, that was rough. And then an 1.5 hour worth of recorded discussion happens, and I fucking just completely collapse into a puddle of just tears and emotion. Again, this is one of the craziest experiences I've ever had recording a reaction to a show, was that episode of Madoka Magica, because I literally had to record 3 or 4 separate fucking chunks of that final discussion throughout the course of that day, as I just continuously devolved just kept falling apart the more and more that was burned into my head. And it was because I cared. It was because I liked that character. I went in expecting to not give the tiniest bit of a fuck beyond the voice actor. And what happened is, I didn't even watch the goddamn fucking version of the show that had the voice actor that I was fucking talking about. But the character was just so charming and sweet and lovable and wonderful that when that happens, it broke me. I didn't know if I wanted to watch the show anymore. But I did, and I kept watching and I enjoyed it because I continued to care about all the other characters, especially when other bad things happen. Because the one thing I will spoil is some bad shit happens in that show. Some good shit too. You should watch it. It's not Dark Souls. There's some other stuff in there too that you should really like. But like the reason why that stuff also works too is because you care about all of those characters. Again, the reason RWBY works is because you care. And like that doesn't happen if you don't have something to latch onto or hold on to. And it just, that's why I think like people not vibing with the comedy and stuff. And again, that's just with the baseline of it. There's a lot of other people. Hey, remember I said I wasn't gonna have any thoughts for this episode? I guess we found out which version it is. But just a quick moment before I continue on. I'm so fucking glad. I wonder if you can see me now or if it does it again later. That's again just talking about the comedy in a baseline. But obviously then there's the discussion of, okay, when again, finding the right place for it is now the right time for it. Which I would argue, yes, absolutely, completely. Now is the best time for something like this. The entire point of this volume is to take a fucking break from the shit we just went through. And obviously, we're only taking so much of a break because we also have to process everything that just happened. RWBY is going through her not doing so hot arc. She's being forced, as I've talked about in other videos, being forced to face who she is. Better yet, what she is. And you know, like, there's obviously some emotional shit in here, but again, you need something to balance that out, and especially you need to balance out the shit we've just been dealing with. Again, it's very similar to going off or coming back from Volume 3 and taking a little bit of time to still have fun and breathe a bit in Volume 4. And there's still a lot of dour shit in Volume 4, don't get me wrong, but you also have Team Ranger getting along, being friends, making jokes, and they need that. Again, a lot of it, again, is, you know, that discussion of whether or not RWBY should necessarily be always putting on this fucking brave face, this mask, as it were. But again, that doesn't mean she's not also an adorable, happy being who just loves her fucking friends, too. Like, number one, you need it to compress, or to decompress, but also just, these aren't unfun characters. That didn't stop after, like, the world has not completely broken them. If they did, there would be no point in watching this show, because I guess the show just ends with everyone falling into a depression, you know, putting an end to things in a video game. You know, like, but that's not what's happening. That's not, and that's not the point. Again, there's this constant talk about, again, there's no fairy tale happy ending, but again, you bring it back to one of the most important lines in the show. The show that, the line that almost instantaneously, immediately, right at the beginning of the show, explains everything. Explains RWBY in particular. Real life isn't a fairy tale. Well, that's why we're here. That's their fucking job. Their job is to make the world a better place. It feels, I don't know. It seems silly to me to have these issues. And also, to be fair, I'm just someone who vibes really well with the duality of people. I've talked about it 100 times over that I'm someone who works semi-similarly to RWBY, and that, you know, it is my job in this scenario to be fun and inviting and warm and happy and welcoming, and I try to always put that out. I always try to put out as much positivity as possible and stuff like that. That don't mean shit don't hurt. That don't mean I don't know if you know this, I just spent like the past 2 years in a not so great situation with some emotional situations, and my heart, things not good. Is a bit of a thing. But that doesn't mean I am just a person who's incapable of having fun. I still played 2 fucking Pokemon games, the best ones we've had in fucking years, and they're amazing, and they're great, and they're wonderful, and I had a blast doing them, and I fell in love with them and had a great time. I still played Ruby Arrowfell and had a fucking great time. I mean, I didn't do much else other than those things. I played a couple of random video games, watched Cyberpunk, Edgerunners, but that was kind of a bummer, too. It's an alright show. I have some issues with it, though. Yeah. Lucy's amazing. Anyway, but, like, I don't know. Just, I've never had too much of an issue with that sort of thing. And again, like, that's not true. I've never. I literally mentioned it earlier, the time that it happened. And it was in Volume 4, with Ren and Nora. That feels wrong. Not even just because I don't think the joke works particularly well for Ruby, but just, it was the weirdest time you could have possibly done that. Even if you were actively just doing it to like alleviate give a bit of breathing room. Of all the things you could have done, and when you, like, that was how you did it, again, it is not as though the show is incapable of making that mistake. It's just, I don't think we've made that mistake really ever in the show outside of that moment. It's just, it's not a thing for me. And again, it's subjective. It is. But, I don't know. Like, yeah, the rock thing is really funny. But I don't think that takes away from that scene. Especially, again, when you're literally in a cartoon fairy tale world. Not even just for us, but literally for the characters, too. That's literally part of the reason Weiss is pissed, is because it's silly and dumb. It's literally the point. If it wasn't that, she wouldn't be mad. She is mad because she's trying to be a serious, normal fucking person, and she just threw a rock, and it hit her in the back of the fucking head. It's the point. And that point, it is impossible to make if you don't do that, you know? So, I don't know. I love how I've talked basically not at all about the actual episode that we're watching, but you know, I'm bad at this. The point behind all of it is, this episode was really fun. It obviously had its moments that were kind of a bummer, but in the end, for the most part, across the board, it was a fun time. It was a creative explosion. From the constant fucking, all the different locations, and the flipping around on the camera and all this. And also, again, holy fuck. RWBY. Holy fuck. Thank you. You got, yeah, no, I get it. 2 years. That would do it. Yeah, that would do it. Imagine if we went straight to Vacuo. Yeah, what are they gonna make? Fucking desert? Yeah. That's comparable to this. Don't get me wrong, you'd have to make all of, like, Shade and Vacuo proper and stuff, too, but, like, yep. Making a desert, that's the same thing as, like, 8 different fucking distinct worlds that they've made over here. Like, yeah, give them some fucking credit. Holy shit. That there, the fucking song that Casey did, which again we heard a bit in the fucking trailer, which is really cool. I didn't know it was gonna be a lyrical song. That's fucking awesome because it's really fucking fun. And again, just that fight in general. We got on this topic again because talking about fights and how they matter for me and RWBY. And this fight was just I think maybe one of the ones that has hit me the most. Despite feeling so, I guess arbitrary would be a way to describe it, but it sounds really dismissive, but you know what I mean. Like, despite being it more of one of the kinds of fights that I don't necessarily vibe with, it carried with it such an energy and life and fun and joy to it that you couldn't have You couldn't have had that in Volume 8. You couldn't have had it in Volume 7, or 6, or 5, or 4, or 3. Probably not 2 or 1 either, even if you really tried. Just because it's so... Because of how much those characters have grown and how in tune they are with each other and just how vibrant and unique and batshit insane the world they're stuck in right now is. It was great. It was really fucking good, and I need to rewatch it about 514 more times. And I need to take so many screenshots of her. Oh my god. All it took was about 3.5 seconds of thinking about Weiss again, and I'm just in the mantle of the fucking earth. Anyway. Apologies. But also, let's be real, everyone in the audience is agreeing with me. You don't even have to be into women, but you're just like, oh no, I get it. I'm not gay, but oh no, I get it. I am gay, and I still get it. You understand. We're on the same page here. Christ. Anyway, it's all very fun. Let's talk about literally anything else I have in this episode. We got to meet the Curious Cat. He's great. I'm actually, again, they. Probably more likely they than he, but, you know. Forgiveth me, my dear friends. Yeah. Depending on how the show ends up referring to him. Again, it's a good call to go with they to be safe. Again, it's Magic Land. It's gonna be a little bit different by default. Yeah. So, I think it's really interesting. I think it's really fun. Again, suspicious as hell. I'm totally expecting, completely within the realm of possibility that they're gonna pull some shit. But, never mind. It hasn't happened yet. We'll get to it. Oh, wait, did it happen? I don't remember. I might have been too busy thinking about Weiss. The approaching line. Anyway, point is, I can't stop thinking about Weiss. It's so bad, and I keep saying that word, and it's not helping, even though it didn't happen in this episode. Anyway. Aren't you glad you watch my videos? You could watch anyone. You watch Arnold make, like, well thought out, compelling analysis. Fun hype. Different other people doing, like, fucking entire discussions and shit. Cal. Phoenix. Dan. The whole bunch. But you're fucking here for some reason. Anyway. I'm really enjoying The Curious Cat so far. And while I do suspect they're suspicious, and Robbie being the voice does not help. Because, again, the vast majority of roles I know Robbie from are smarmy dickheads who betray people. Like, it's kind of a niche he's carved out for himself that he's really fucking good at. I love Hubert. But Hubert's kind of a dick. He's kind of a shit person. But I love him. He's my boy. I killed him again because of the route I went on in Three Houses. But in another life, I would have sided with him. He's great. And other characters too. Persona. Anyway, I'm sorry. He's fucking great. I rewatched a playthrough of that entire thing fairly recently. I think I've mentioned it as well. He's so fucking great in it. Dude is acting his ass off. Him and Max, in particular, for whatever reason, are just fucking going apeshit the entire time in that game. It's fucking great. Everyone's great in it, but those two in particular are just acting their asses off the entire time. Anyway. He's really great in this so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really happy we got him on board. He's a lot of fun. The Red Prince, he's all right. He's an annoying little murderous shit. But it's interesting. Again, yet again, another direct reference to the fact that despite things seemingly running on a loop, it is also progressing. Because, again, like we had earlier, Jinxie's older. I don't remember him being some old crotchety fuck. And, you know, here it's like the Red King is gone. The Red Prince is here. Apparently his son. How does a weird toy man have a kid? I'd rather not think about that personally. I'll leave that one to the fan fiction writers. Anyway, we'll move on. Yeah, I enjoy them. I thought the characters have been so fun. Again, they fit the world very, very well. And again, because of that, it leads to that perfect, the juxtaposition of the fun and the sad and the angry and the glad. I suppose the last thing we have to talk about is obviously we got to see Neo for the first time in the volume so far. And she's pissed. I'm starting to kind of feel bad for the Jabberwocker, I'm not gonna lie. I need to go back and listen to what it's saying. All I caught in there was like cease. Like this poor thing. Just, I'm really starting to get the impression it's not even like a malicious creature. Like, it's just fucking scared because it just keeps getting the shit kicked out of it. And it's just like, I'm just vibing, man. What the hell? Crazy bitches throwing rocks at me. Fucking, I get jumped by these two over here. This crazy chick shows the fuck up and then makes like 80 of herself. Again, that casual reminder. You realize how goddamn terrifying Neo is. Not only is she just insanely competent as a fighter, but her semblance is disgusting. It's Emerald's semblance, but if Emerald's semblance was better and broken in literally every possible way. She just makes shit. She just invents shit into the universe. She can make a brick wall, and it is a real fucking brick wall. And it's gonna disappear when she decides to let it go. But it's real, it's tangible, it's a fucking thing. You can touch it. She makes things. She's so fucking strong, and I love her. Again, I really hope she can figure her shit out, man. I'm so worried she's gonna die by it. Stress. If she doesn't do something horrible before she does. It's all fun and game until she fucking murders that little mouse, and the entire world's like, nah, we're done with her. He's like, no, you did too much. It was all fun and games, then you killed the mouse that we all love. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna need to rewatch this a lot. God, this volume's so good. I hated the wait. I really did, obviously. And I needed it to not be a wait, obviously, because I was struggling quite heavily. But now that it's here, now that they had that time to do all of the shit they've managed to do, which they wouldn't have been able to do otherwise, it's really fucking good. So, I'm enjoying it. Thank you, RWBY. Rooster Teeth, I've said it 100 times, and I'll say it 100 more. Greenlight the fucking next volume. You dummies. Okay. Now that that's out of the way. Thank you to everyone involved. To all of RWBY, to Casey and Martine, you talented motherfuckers. I can't wait to listen to the song again. As far I can't imagine they do, but if the song comes out, I'll react to the song. But I'm assuming that's not going to happen, and it'll work like normal. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. A huge thank you, as always, to the people in the audience who put up with my bullshit and watch me talk about things for too goddamn long. And thank you for everyone for putting up with the video issue earlier. Oops. Guess what I'm going to use a picture of? In Non Non, I used a picture of Komari holding her little thing because it was cute. I'm going to use the picture of Angel Weiss because Angel Wife. Anyway, we're going to go... Forgive me for my sins. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and give it some love. If you didn't, what's the nicest way I can say blow me? Anyway. If you didn't, that's fine too. But yeah. As always, as always, I have a Patreon. You can check that out. I also always have a Discord you can check out. Those are always open and available. Neither are mandatory, but they're always fun for those who would like to do things with them. Further stuff in regards to the channel. The other day, this last week, I recorded pretty much all of the... I recorded the last of both K-On! And Non Non Biyori Repeat proper. So those shows are coming to a close. I probably should have mentioned at the beginning of the video that we have a poll for new stuff, but we have a poll for new stuff. If you would like to check that out, if you have not already, got things like, Bocchi the Rock, Continuing Kaguya, like Chorus Recall, fucking the big Gundam with what is basically White Rose if White Rose was actually a thing. Like it really seems like it's just. It really seems like that's what it's like. But that, as well as some other personal choices of my own, like Aquatope and fucking Maidens and stuff like that. So, those are all things that I would love it if you decide to take a vote on. I would love to hear what you guys think. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Not as long as last time, but also this was more of a visual feast than a discussatory one, I would say. That being said, I'm sure I will rewatch the episode and immediately have about 27 things else that I want to say. That's great. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Twos and lemons, everybody. Thank you so very much for watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for putting up with my endless, boundless Weiss love. I'm going to go ahead and see you all next time when we get episode 4. I despise the fact we are 4 out of 10 and... God, it hurts, but we're getting there. It's going to be a good time nonetheless. Also, Ruby, you want to continue making more episodes that are a little longer like this, even if they fucking feel like it took 10 seconds. What the hell was that about? Anyway, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and go. Keep in touch with whatever is going on with the music. But for right now, I think that's it until next week. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, give us some love. I'll see you all next time. Toodles and lemons, everybody. Bye. That's my wife. I cannot get that image of her out of my head. She's so goddamn amazing and awesome. She's literally the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, and she's not real. What the fuck is that about? What the fuck? Rooster Teeth, Ruby, gang. Why would you do this to me? Now I can never be happy because she's not real. I'm in the core of the planet.